Hi everyone, back in Warsaw, our last 3 days here in Poland, and we're finishing up in Warsaw. To my right hand side is the old town. Unfortunately it's raining today. We haven't had the best summer weather here in Poland, but it is still absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna go back to my hotel now, and I'm gonna take you guys for a bit of a walk through Warsaw City. Now, a bit of a hint, do not jaywalk. Apparently the fines have gone through the roof, and it is up to 5,000 zloty fine if you jaywalk. So you will see a lot of people waiting at the red lights, waiting to cross. But so 5,000 zloty is probably about two grand, maybe a little bit more, 2,000 Australian dollars. There's the Novotel in front of me where I'm staying, right opposite the Pałac Kultury, which is the Palace of Culture and Science. There's a few renovations going on to these old buildings here. There's a combination of new and old trams going through. The public transport system in Poland is very efficient and awesome and cheap. Let's see what else we can see. The streets are quite clean except for the cigarette butts everywhere, unfortunately. Smoking is still very popular in Poland. There used to be an awesome milk bar here, which is right in front of me, which is the Bar Mleczny, but they've changed it to a vegetarian milk bar. So I'm not keen to go in there, but I will go to a milk bar in Stare Miasto, the old city. But the milk bars were a cheap form of dining here in Poland during the communist eras, where you could get very cheap food and very delicious food. It's vegetarian, yet they've got schnitzels, or maybe there's two versions of it. It looks like there's two versions actually, the normal one and a vegetarian one. Okay. I love these little side streets here. You can go in, go through the middle of a building, and you get to see some historics and a car going right through. It's okay. Thank you. Dziękuję. And you literally end up in a little side street with these old buildings and the architecture. I'm in love with the architecture in Poland. It's pretty cool. And we're back on the main street. It is a Wednesday, so business as usual, but it is school holiday, so it's a little bit more quiet at the moment. What I've noticed though in the last year is the amount of graffiti that has come to Warsaw. In the main streets there never used to be so much graffiti, but now there is. I'm not sure what's going on. Probably the same thing as Brisbane. The youth are out of control. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn right here, which I'm going to do a bit of a circle, and go through these streets which have these really amazing buildings. As I said, I'm really in love with the architecture here in Warsaw, because you've got to look up when you're walking. Apart from these amazing cobblestones, you have this fantastic architecture with statues and intricate shapes. Hello to those that are watching. Hello, Aneta. It's an awesome place. And like, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous architecture. Look at this. And Polish people are always in a hurry until they stop for coffee or a beer, and they slow down. Everyone's walking at 100 miles an hour. To be honest, I walk the same pace, but I tend to look around. Let's have a little... Dzień dobry, Aneta. Mam nadzieję, że dobry dzień. Let's have a look. But you've got these buildings. The one thing I reckon is different between Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, a lot of the places I've been to where there used to be old communist architecture is these long style buildings. They just connect and go. There is no waste of space. Unlike in Australia where we've got high rises and they're very separated, and you've got this concrete jungle sort of happening with trees. Here, all the buildings are connected, and I'm going to walk through between this truck. Let's see. And so the buildings have these bridges between them for people to walk through. I'm going to go this way. Something's happening here. The cops are all over the place. Tomorrow is the Warsaw Uprising, so we're going to be marching in the Warsaw Uprising celebrations. This is my third year in a row that I'm attending the Warsaw Uprising. Hopefully the weather will be better because it's been very rainy. I don't mind the cold weather. I don't want rain. So what's happening here? Oh, they're just having a conversation. So this is the City Council police. Just having a good old chat. But, as I said, let's go for... As I said, I've never been in this street, so I'm taking a bit of a detour. I'm going to cross here. Let's go for this building. Let's see what's on the other side. So yeah, you cross here and you've got an awesome little cafe. Beautiful architecture, cobblestone roads. Awesome, alright. Oh, the smells, if you guys could smell the fresh food being made. And the Warsaw fashion, it's pretty interesting. Let's just block the road and have a bit of a conversation. Policia. The one thing here though is I feel safe. I can walk through here in the middle of the night and feel very, very safe. While in Brisbane, I wouldn't feel as safe. Or especially Melbourne these days as well. No one is stopping me to ask for money, begging. There are homeless people with signs out asking for money, but they're not stopping you in the middle of the street like they do in Brisbane, Sydney or Melbourne. So I do feel very safe here. Police presence is very heavy. They're patrolling the streets. They're not messing around. They are stopping random people to ask for ID and make sure they're doing the right thing. Obviously, they're not going to stop you if you're not doing anything wrong, but they are keeping the place safe, and I don't mind that. Fantastic. Oh, this building wasn't covered last time I was here 2 weeks ago, so I guess they're renovating it as well. But look at these streets. Look at the food that's available here. Everything is fresh. Amazing. Unfortunately, the one thing that I really hate is the smoking though. Like, they still permit smoking in restaurants, but outside, which means you can't really sit outside and then suddenly someone starts chugging on a smoke and then it just ruins your meal. Oh, Toyotas. It's 10 a.m. here. No, it's actually 12. I'm wrong. 2 hours behind, but everyone's already having sit down in cafes. The one thing you will notice though is the price of coffee. The price of coffee pretty much on par with Australia, but the taste is not as good. I think Australia does coffee really, really well. Especially I was going to say Melbourne, but I was going to say especially Brisbane. Sorry, Melbourne. I think Brisbane coffee is better because of the service. Melbourne coffee is great, but you guys are in a bit of a hurry to make coffee, and in Brisbane we tend to be a little bit more relaxed, hence why Brisbane is the sleepy city. Let's go for here, because we haven't been here yet. I was here maybe 3 years ago with Lumi, because there was an old record store here and I wanted to have a look at a few records. Hairdressers, you can sit out there, enjoy yourself. And look at this, people are just living here. Look at this architecture. It's amazing. Beautiful. Beautiful colours. Poke bowl. It's awesome. Anyway, let me know in the comment section where you want to go next. I quite enjoy walking the streets and discovering new places. I just can't eat anymore, I'm so full. Ah, look at this building. Just everywhere, different foods. You've got fusion restaurants, Italian, Asian, lots of kebab places, Turkish, Lebanese. We actually met a Bangladeshi guy that's running a kebab place in Marburg, and probably one of the best kebabs we've ever had. And the food prices are still quite good. Żabka is your Polish 7-Eleven. They are absolutely everywhere. And they're packed in the middle of the night. People are just trying to get the basics. You can buy fresh food here as well. But obviously it is 7-Eleven, so you are getting 7-Eleven prices as well. But we're going to go through this building here, and you're going to see the Palace of Culture and Science. Let's have a look. Hey Janina, good to see you. There's another hotel where we're staying. We're staying on the top floor with the views of the palace. And we're about to cross into the main street. Where we have the Palace of Culture and Science right there. What an amazing place to see. We've got the Presidential Hotel there, and on the rooftop is a restaurant which we have a booking tonight for 8 p.m. to watch the sunrise and have some cocktails. So that will be pretty cool. Very love this building. I was flying my drone around here last year. Trying to zoom out. Come on. What? Let me zoom out. Come on. There we go. Right, where should I go next? The rain has passed, so I might actually start walking back towards the hotel. Hey Evelina, good to see you. Awesome place. And the streets are clean. As you can see, like, there's no bottles, there's no rubbish. There's a few cigarette butts here and there, but that's quite normal. Left towards the train station, Aneta. Done. Why not? Let's do it. I'm getting my steps in. Trying to lose weight before I go back to Australia. See, everyone's waiting to cross. No one's jaywalking. Usually the tourists jaywalk and then they find out that they shouldn't. That's cool. You've got the crossing for the bicycles and the scooters, while on the right hand side you've got the normal crossing. So tomorrow we're going to be in the middle of that roundabout over there, lining up for the August 1st celebrations, the Warsaw Uprising. Okay, let's do it. Let's go for a walk towards the train station. In Australia, it beeps fast when you're crossing and beeps slow when it stops. Here it's the other way around. I guess we are down under in Australia. There's the Pałac Kultury. Beautiful architecture everywhere. What you don't get here is, as I said, because there's no high rises here. I mean, obviously you can see high rises in the background, but they're not tightly packed like they are in Brisbane. You don't get that sort of feeling of loudness. I don't know if that makes sense, but in Brisbane, Sydney or Melbourne, when I'm there, you can hear the traffic. You can hear the noise from cars and buses and everything. Here it's a different kind of noise. It's actually quiet. It's pleasant. There's a lot of greenery, birds chirping, but you don't hear the traffic. And if you go into the Saxon Gardens, even during the daytime, it is silent. It's a garden which is over there, and it's near the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, but it is dead silent. It is really, it's a different kind of city to your normal bustling Brisbane. Have a look at these hotels here. Amazing. So gorgeous. I was gonna stay there for a night, but yeah, I didn't. It was a little bit over my price range for this holiday. Maybe next year. There's an awesome place here for a beer. Well, I might get run over. Bit of a bar here next to the obelisk. It's midday. Should I get a beer? The head is saying yes. And Saturdays during the summer period, they have an open air cinema here. I love this building. It's just huge. They're preparing all the decorations for tomorrow. As I said, tomorrow is the Warsaw Uprising. It's the 1st of August tomorrow. So at 5 p.m. the whole city stops. and alarms will be blaring to commemorate the what happened in World War II, where the Poles uprose against the Germans and then were betrayed by the Russians, unfortunately. Okay, and here's the open air cinema. So every Saturday they have this fantastic open air cinema where you get to watch movies and sit, enjoy drinks, snacks, and the most perfect view. Okay. There's a viewing port up there, which I'm going to go to tonight. Right there. 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 So we're going to go up there tonight to have a look at the awesome views of Warsaw. I'll tell you what, it's easy to zoom in. It's not easy to zoom out. Come on. Zoom out. I don't want to swear on Facebook Live, but I'm about to. Yeah, not my face. There we go, zoomed out. Awesome. Let's keep going. Where am I going to next? Right. We're coming up to the train station, and in front is Złote Tarasy, which is gold terrace translates to. Massive shops, Zara, H&M. It's like a big shopping centre, multiple levels. Hey Jeremy, how you going? What I want to show you though is actually a bit of a hidden secret here in Warsaw that people don't really know. But if you go towards the Palace of Culture and Science here and turn left, and you've got the Warsaw Central train station there. So if you turn right, you can actually hire out old Polish cars and take them for a spin around the city. Or if you're not confident driving around the city, they will take you for a drive. Now, because of all the renovations that they're doing, they may not be here, but we shall find out in a second. They're usually all parked along here, but I think, because you can see they're doing some renovations, they might not be here. Oh, there was one. Here's another one. Holy crap, how did I just walk by? There's a Maluch. Check this out. Warsaw self-drive tour. That is awesome. Proper Maluch. Manual gearbox. Here's another one. No aircon. No problem. It says Maluchs, Fiat 126P or 650E in this case. But they've had other ones here as well. They had Duży Fiat, which is big Fiat. I can't remember what they were called. They've got a couple of Polonas cars and an old Syrena and Warsaw, which were also Polish cars. But I guess they had to move things around here. Okay. And we are now coming towards the CBD of Warsaw. I think also Warsaw, and correct me if I'm wrong, has Europe's tallest skyscraper here as well. It's not this one, but it is, I think, behind there. And it does have a viewing port at the top. I'm not going to cross towards the train station. I think I'm just going to go around. Unless, Aneta, you have any specific requests. But let's do it this way. go towards here. I remember when I was really young and I came to the train station with my dad when he was going to Australia for the first time, and I saw that building. I was freaked out because living in Malbork, I've never seen anything taller than 3 or 4 stories. So seeing some monstrosity like that, and then this impressive thing, and like this is just insane. Like for me as a kid, and I have these vivid memories as a child of Poland. Like you have no idea. I feel like I'm back in 1993 again, except way more buildings, way more people. No problem at any time. But yeah, just seeing that building, it's insane that. Hey Gosha, how are you? But it's insane that in Warsaw in the late 80s, you had literally no high rises except that thing, the Novotel, which is behind that tree, and that one. And you came out in the middle of Warsaw, and you see these things because the Warszawa the Warsaw Central train station is underground. So you're literally arriving in Warsaw on the train through a tunnel, and you don't get to see anything until you exit the train station. And so it was a sight to see for a young kid like me, and it kind of inspired me to go, wanting to move to Australia. Although, to be honest, I prefer to live in Poland now more than anything else. It's like such a beautiful city. But I think that's the tallest skyscraper in Europe at the moment. Don't quote me on it, but if you are watching this video or you watch this video later, let me know. I will Google it afterwards. There's the Novotel again. But Warsaw's going through a bit of a change, and I think a lot of Poland they've got a big injection of money. Economy is doing really well, so they're really investing in repairing these old buildings and fixing them up, like that one over there. And that's what really impresses me about Poland, is instead of destroying the building behind and keeping the facade and then building some monstrosity skyscraper, they're literally investing in maintaining these old buildings the way they are and keeping them as heritage as possible and keeping the history, and then mixing in some of the new stuff. And that's what I really love about Poland. Like you go to Melbourne and you see these really old buildings, but then you look up and you've got a skyscraper right above it. So where is the old building? It's like, seriously, it's like looking at a really bad facelift. And I don't like that. It's a little bit fake, to be honest. Okay, we're going to walk back towards the hotel now. Gorgeous buildings, as I said, and a lot of these are Airbnbs, and you can really get some really great deals by looking at Airbnb or bookings.com. Here's something that just doesn't belong, I reckon. It's this American monstrosity, this raptor. That just does not belong on Warsaw streets, where the streets are really quite narrow. But they are promoting a lot of bitcoins and cryptocurrency here. Not sure how much of that is honest. I have seen quite a few high performance vehicles. Lots of security walking around. And I think security in Poland is the real thing. I think looking at, and this might be my opinion only, but you know, you go into, again, I'm comparing a lot of stuff to Australia because that's where I live. But going into Australia and you're looking at the security guards there, and I go, I don't think you'd be able to protect anyone. While here, a lot of the security guards do look quite intimidating, and they are carrying batons and pepper sprays and tasers, so I wouldn't be messing with them. That's my opinion. Obviously, let me know if it differs. These beautiful buildings, and again, like, inside is still gorgeous. They're massive. These buildings, they're huge, and you can go through the middle of them and end up in the back of this building, and there's like a lovely restaurant and a park. Piss off. Sorry. Uber Eats. He did that on purpose, by the way. That's the second time that guy's driven right at me. I think he knows that I'm doing a live feed and he was just trying to interrupt. He's not Polish. Gorgeous. At least it's not hot. It's very cloudy. It's been spitting, but it's not hot. And I tend to always stay at the Novotel because you can literally purchase rooms with the view of the Palace of Culture and Science. So that's cool. It used to be about $90 a night, plus a $30 upgrade to a Palace of Culture view, well, the city view. Now it's doubled that price, so it's about $200 a night. So things have definitely gone up in price. I'm going to cross the road here. Let's go. We've got this amazing 5-star hotel here, and I've wanted to stay here, but as I said, it was a little bit out of my price range. I think when I was booking it, the Guns N' Roses the Guns N' Roses concert was going on, and then Jennifer Lopez came along as well, so all these massive 5-star hotels were a little bit booked out and heavily priced. The Polonia Palace Hotel. But yeah, okay. Well, everyone, thanks for taking a tour of Warsaw with me. I haven't done many of these Facebook Lives before. I just thought, coming up to my last 2 or 3 days in Warsaw, I thought I'd share some of the walking around. But yeah, I don't catch public transport in Warsaw. I like to walk and check things out, put in the steps. Hey Sharon, how you going? I've already done 8,400 steps and it's 12:30 here, so I reckon I'll get a good 20,000 in before bed. Time to get rid of that belly that I've grown while being in Poland for 3 weeks. So, Hotel Metropole is another famous one to stay in. Quite affordable, but obviously the views are not as good as that. So I'll tell you where we're staying. We're on the 28th floor, and then you've got a sauna up there and a gymnasium on the top floor. I'll definitely use the sauna tonight. Yeah, I think Warsaw is a very beautiful city. I think it's very underrated. People want to go and see Paris and London and all of that, and I've been to both. And I think Paris is definitely overrated. It's beautiful, but it is a little bit on the dodgy side and unclean. And I did not feel safe in Paris, I'll be honest. London was awesome. I really did enjoy London. I think it's a very beautiful city, but also I felt a little bit unsafe there. While in Warsaw, I haven't had any issues, none whatsoever. And I really think it's a beautiful, beautiful city worth exploring, especially these old communist buildings that were here, put in after the war. And I say they're communist because that's obviously when it's after the war and before 1986 or 9 when communism. I have to look it up. Let me know in the comment section when it happened. But they've all been renewed. But these huge buildings, like they're long, and they're massive, and they just keep going. And if you could walk down this street, these buildings are stunning and full of history. As I said, when you walk, look up, because you see these amazing statues, balconies. Look at these balconies up here. People living in them, in these houses. You've got awesome views. And yeah, so tomorrow we'll be right in that roundabout where those trams are crossing each other. And we'll be doing the Warsaw Uprising celebration. So stay tuned, make sure you follow our channel. And yeah, you'll see us at the Warsaw Uprising tomorrow, celebrating with thousands of Polish people marching through the streets of Poland, going into Stare Miasto, the old city. There's going to be a concert, there's going to be celebrations, singing. There's going to be people dressed up in old war style costumes, reenactments. It is a heartwarming thing to see that we don't forget the history here, especially of what has happened in Poland during World War I, World War II, and pretty much every war that has been over 1,000 years here in Poland. So again, thank you for joining me on this walk through Warsaw. Let me know where you want me to go next time. I'm here for another 2 days, and then we're flying out to Brisbane. Okay, I'm at the hotel. One more view for the road. See you, everyone. If you're in Brisbane, good night. If you're in Poland, dzień dobry, do widzenia.